So for the demo, can I put it?
Yeah. Now you can spot the demo.
Okay, so starts now.
My name is Sharon from Strathmore University, and this is This is Sheila from the Falls, and Linda Keida also from Strathmore, David Kugamba from Strathmore, Abraham from Strathmore, and David Nene from Strathmore.
Thank you, Sharon. Our team is focusing on improving healthcare delivery in the country against a backdrop of overarching realities that needs to be changed. We are talking about that has a three-tier approach to this problem. And the first tier is an LLM system that is able now to get data on correct prescriptions based on the Kenya National Medicines formulary that healthcare practitioners get correct prescription. We are talking about prescriptions that have the right strength, that they have the right route, and take care of other factors, including contraindication for those who know those medical terms. So that's the first tier of that product. We have another tier that is now tackling the systemic inefficiencies that we have in our facilities, and this is now what contributes to the lack of efficient medical supplies across board. So we have an AI-powered solution that is able to help these facilities plan based on the medications that they buy so that they prevent stockouts. Because we believe that a healthy nation is one that has a robust and a good working healthcare system, and having enough drugs is one of the key things. And lastly, how do these facilities take advantage of the numerous reviews that people post in the social media? We are talking of a system now that is able to use Google Places API to get instant reviews from people that can be articulated, synthesized, and be used for continuous improvement. So we are talking about a 360 solution for our healthcare facilities. And what is good, just before I introduce my colleague to do the demo, our system is very much sustainable in terms of our pricing model. We are talking about charging users $50 per facility per month. And our projected revenues for a year per facility is $600. And we are targeting 100 facilities each, for the first year. And we are going to increase our revenues by 20%. And the big thing, our ask is very considerable, about 8,000 euros or 8,700 USD. And we are focusing more on a lean operation. We are focusing on getting people who are contract workers like we are, who are students and also working for us. But more importantly, we will use digital marketing and local reach to grow our customer base. Thank you very much. So I'll introduce, I'll pass the mic to David.
Okay, thanks. So I'll present for the chatbot. Yeah, so this is a demo for the chatbot where a doctor can be able to ask a prescription for a certain dosage. And for example, this is a prompt that we have passed to the chatbot. A 3-year-old has fever, cough, headache, and running nose. What drug should be administered? And then we have a response on that, and it gives the right dosage. And it's retrieving this information from this particular Kenya National formulary data. So this is where it's getting the data from. And then we have the next part on the stocking, where we can see a dashboard of the trends of how the medical drugs have been stocked. We can see like this a trend line per month of the medical purchases. Then we have the top items purchased monthly. So you can be able, the model can learn from this and be able to model what's the future purchase demand looks like. And then after that, we have the reviews part. So this customer reviews analysis, where we have an average sentiment by theme, and you can see this is a use case that we did for Kenyatta Hospital. We can see some of the themes that came out from this, and also the distribution of overall sentiment. We have negative, we have positive, and we have neutral, and then the word cloud of the customer reviews analysis. Thanks.
Now for Tunga. Thank you.
Thank you. So my question goes to the ability of your solution to scale. I've heard you talk about the use of Google Play Store API for filling in review. Assuming that you have to integrate several hospitals or several facilities, how would you go about it?
Okay, so this was just a case study for one hospital. We include those other hospitals as part of the facilities we want to investigate. So any of the hospitals we want, we just see them, and now we'll integrate that into the model. So for now, we just use one, but it's very possible to add hospitals.
Yeah, so how?
How?
Yes.
Okay, so we use the ID of that particular page, and within the tool that we now use to pass the particular ID, and then it will receive any number of reviews you want.
Okay. So I speak about that because you need to have a mechanism for ensuring scale. How do you ensure scale? You ensure scale by implementing what we call a federated architecture. And federated architecture basically implies you're not running a centralized solution at one place. You're distributing your access to your system, to each facility, but still maintaining an ability of the solution to be shared or information within it to be shared. Because, for example, Ministry of Health would then want to have a visibility over a broad range of facilities. So they could want to take a sample of 10 counties to see what is usage patterns, even just this trend analysis. How do you then ensure that you're able to provide that information to the Ministry of Health or to any government body or decision maker who wants to drive policy based on your drug usage, for example? So implementing it as siloed solution might pose a challenge, because then you have to deploy even the hardware infrastructure across every single facility. Okay.
Thank you. One more question. West.
Legal advice? Are you worried about the legal ramifications of if your AI just says something completely wrong or gives the wrong dosage or in the wrong amount, grams instead of milligrams, and somebody dies?
Okay, so for that we are using the retrieval augmented generation, where it's getting data from a specific source. So it's getting data from a specific vector database, so that it's only that, and if not, it's not getting from there, then it says it doesn't know any information apart from what's stored in the database. Then on top of that, we are using an open source model called Meditron, and we are fine-tuning it with the data that we have, so that it can learn with the uses or the use case here in Kenya, so that it can learn with the Kenyan data and now give responses.
Clap for Tunga. Yeah, that's right for Tunga. Yeah, thank you.
Weke tu saizi ndio kuwe seamless, isisumbuke. And then
Do we start? You ready? Just a moment.
cast the screen.
Okay, next on stage is Team Champagne, mental health companion. Give them time.
Hello, we are Team Champagne. My name is Angela Minor. This is Nelson, and this is Gambina. So we decided to create an AI and machine learning application called Champagne Your Mental Health Companion. Basically, it's supposed to address an issue whereby people can get personalized and right on time mental health advice, because our youth, we can see that most of them, they experience a lot of mental health challenges based on various things like drugs and alcohol consumption, perhaps early pregnancies, and other issues that they cannot address other people. They tend to be shunned from the society, and we do not want them to go through this alone. Therefore, they have something that is quick, they can address their issue and be able to get help.
So hello, yeah. So Champagne solve, we have different problems across all I'll say sectors. So the first problem is we have limited access to mental health facilities. This cuts across youths, the government service, those who work for government, children, yeah. So actually we're talking about over 15 million youths, that's our target case, who lack access to mental health facilities. This might be because they're costly and they fear, as men, there's the stigma thing, yeah, and we also have lack of the education. So we're providing a platform where you can learn about mental health. Using AI, you won't have the stigma thing. You'll have your personalized experience. So you'll have your mentor, the person will be guiding you through just for you. And we also have therapy scheduling in case you'll not be, you won't be satisfied with the AI. So you'll have a therapist. So, yeah, so our statistics, they said our use case is youth, the larger population affected by mental issues. So we're talking about 15 million youths who are affected by mental issues. Youths that lack mental health facilities, that is 64% of youths, they lack the access to the facilities, and 32% of 64.8%, they lack access, they lack access to the facilities, which means they can't afford to get them, or maybe if they can, it's too expensive for them, they lack the information. So yeah. And since we already have different platforms who are trying to maybe solve this, but we also have our competitive edge. We're coming this with AI integration, so which means you'll have 24/7 accessibility. You won't be waiting for someone to come maybe assist you. And we have a community, so you can just share how you feel through our community. And it's something public, you can just share, and then you can record yourself, an audio, and yeah, you find different platforms, they lack that. Our business model, we have premium services. We advertise for different advertisement, partnerships. We are trying to partner with grassroots organizations to reach out to the youth. The user metrics and commission from the connections to the therapist. So I think he'll take you through the product.
Hello guys, this is Champe. This actually the screens that every user will be interacting once they log into our system. We have Champe, a little bit of land screen, we have login, and then after you log in, we have this homepage where we see a community of people trying to connect with other people that are facing the same mental health issues, because when you come together, you can be able to share the experiences and work better. And then from there, we have this juncture where you can go to chat model, where you can be able to chat with our very own AI called Linda. That's some test subject of question that we are trying to ask. If you find Linda not helpful, you can be able to click on bookings. You can book therapies. On therapies, you can see their ratings. You can see the patient they have encountered, the biography, the location, and then if you choose to continue, you can be able to make a booking, select time, select is it in person or not, and then you make a booking successful. And while you're interacting with Champe learns your emotion and to give you these beautiful statistics that you see over here.
Thank you. Questions? Clap for them. Questions from judges? Let's have.
This is good. My first question will be, training these models requires a lot of data, first of all. You're going to partner with therapists, a lot of them. How do you envision that doing that? That's one. Two, you are targeting mental health people. These are people in their lowest level. Probably their digital literacy is not that okay. How are they going to interact with this? And again, there are a lot of people, there are places in Kenya where internet is not there. You need internet to access search. How are you going to handle all that? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the questions. Actually, people with no internet, we are trying to push this thing to the government, because government have done this thing that they have put computers in local areas. We are trying to push this specific application to that local areas where they can be able to find internet. Somebody like from me, nimetoka kulima, sina kazi, I can just go there and say, I'm tired of kulima, what can I do? And then the mental health can be able to advertise, help you further. And regarding about the data, actually I'm a volunteer in this mental health group called Paper Hearts. Actually from there I can be able to leverage, because we have a larger community of people that we can be able to harness the information and be able to proceed and push it to our system so that it can be of help to every user out there.
Thank you. One last question.
Yeah, so I want to look at the business side of it. I think this is a good solution. But then, and maybe you've mentioned government. For me, I'm curious. What kind of market are you looking at? You just mentioned youth, but from a point of scalability, what does your numbers look like in terms of who you're targeting and how that market size looks like? And really, how are you looking at making money from these conversations on premium services and all that? But this XY amount, and it will give us that. I think that makes sense. So, looking at the financials and the market size that you're looking at.
Okay, thank you very much. For the financials, we have commissions. Those are the therapists that you saw that you can book. We can get some commission from there, and then we can be able to, yeah. Need the specific number.
Per session, will from the platform. Normal booking sessions for mental health is 3,000, so that's why we're bringing this product in. Yeah, so, yeah, and you talked about business model, premium service. Market size, as at now, we are using the use case of youth. And actually, we are targeting youths, around 15 million youths that I think, so we are targeting 13 million youths that are affected by mental health.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Clap for them. Team Champagne. Thank you so much. Yeah. So next team, Team Alpha. Team Alpha. Then governance PAP, prepare.
Excuse me. Hawezi atatuwekea watu. Excuse me, bro. I think mwambie aende through the slides because go through the nini. Tabu finya next. Mwambie afinya next.
Okay, sasa.
Yeah.
Kuna nini hapa? Kuna click up.
Where?
Click to anywhere.
Here to on behalf of Team Alpha.
And our project is basically monitoring government projects and services using GIS and drones. And these are my team members. We're ready to present.
Yeah, so guys, I want to give you a case scenario. Before you see the following projects. So Isolo Stadium, the fertilizer scandal, and the affordable levy housing program. If government projects were monitored keenly, do you think we'll have these scandals? If you had a mechanism whereby you are able to whistleblow and find out what is the progress that has actually taken place with the money that with the budget allocation that you already have. So do you think we'll have such issues? Yeah.
So, being in context of the country that we are in, one thing that we need to realize is there's a lot of taxpayer money that is being lost because of the lack of accountability and transparency when you look at the projects that the government are running and how their services are being given to its citizens. So one of the biggest things in having unmonitored projects is the fact that you will have delays in projects which are being accounted for in terms of money. So the more a project runs, the more money we spend. And the more money we spend, the more people are taxed, the more taxpayers are bearing the cost. Right now, we're looking at it in the sense that recently, from the pictures that were shown, we had a taxpayer scandal. So how it played out is we had given money in terms of the tax that we give as citizens, but then the farmers were not able to receive the fertilizers, which when you look at the problem, it's in our country, Kenya, you see that annually we lose close to $100 million when it comes to cases such as this because we are not able to maximize on agricultural productivity. The other thing is when there is mismanagement of the project cycle, it also goes to mismanagement of funds. We lose approximately 2.5 billion annually because of that. And then the other issue is Kenya loses investors, which costs us approximately 6 billion annually due to the mismanagement of funds and corruptions, especially when it comes to the project cycles of things such as dam construction and the transport systems that we have in our country. So this is the problem that we're trying to tackle, the project evaluation and more accountable and transparent. The government and the people who are working there, the contractors, are with it. So the solution that we're trying to provide from this project is ensuring that we have precise monitoring system which enables us to have real-time, accurate and reliable data. So how we are going to ensure that we have real-time, reliable and accurate data is through the use of the AI, GIS and drone. So aside from that, on the ground, before we start any implementation of any project, there will be involvement of the public where we will be explaining to the public that there is a proposed plan that is coming in this area, for instance, a dam or a road, and this is the duration of the project, and this is the amount of funds that has been set aside from the money that we pay in tax for this project, and this is the project cycle and plan. So from there, not only are our drones, which have been trained to capture the image precisely of that project, able to capture that information, but also the people, we are able to work hand in hand with the people on the ground in that area and the equipments that we have to capture the information. And then we are also able to offer expert advice in terms of the project cycle. So how long do we think the project is going to take from the real-time and accurate data that we have gotten? And then the other thing is we are able to look at the partnerships that are viable between the government and external investors. So they are able to know how much do we need to invest in that project, and from the information that we have, how long is it going to take to execute this project, and how reliable are they going to be when it comes to the execution of this project?
We currently do not have a working model of the solution. We do have, however, flowcharts that would...
So this is our theoretical wireframe. This is the main page. Navigation, you will have the home page, menu for the projects, we're monitoring, reports, and this is a page for community involvement. So the home page will have quick statistics, status overview, and a carousel of the projects we are monitoring. The projects page will have, will focus on a particular project, the progress, completion rate. We'll also have images showing the projects, budget breakdown, then a comment section and suggestions. You can filter the content there by project type, status, date. We'll have report cards. This will be visual summaries of performance with key metrics. Then public involvement. Here we'll employ privacy by design, where users will be able to tell on the progress of projects without being able to, they'll tell on the progress anonymously. Yeah, thank you.
Clap for Team Alpha. here, then.
Okay. Thank you. Quite a good presentation. So who's the buyer of whatever you're trying to build? And secondly, how do you envision the data to be collected?
So, as we first said, there are many ways in which government sources its funds for executing projects, and one of the ways they do that is by getting investors. So, as an investor, you will like a system that will account for how the government is running the projects that you're investing in, wouldn't you? Yes, that is one way. And then altogether, the government puts aside funds where they send people to the ground to monitor projects. So, yeah.
So the government is your client. Government your client.
Let her answer this.
I think aside from the government, we're also looking at a mechanism of transparency and accountability, and there's a whistleblowing aspect. So then that means there's data that we are collecting. So we are looking at research consultancy firms that will need our data to inform some of the research that they are doing. So we are also able to engage with them in a way that we are able to sell our data that we are collecting from our projects. We are also looking at some data collecting organizations like Google, who want to see some of the geospatial pictures that are there of some of the locations in some areas where they cannot access, but we have access to. So we would be able to alternatively have access to private sector people who are interested in this type of project that we are doing. So it's not only the government, it's a diverse range. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to bring out, because I think it's important that you see you could deploy it as a public good, so you have it as available to anybody who wants to monitor any project, in which case you still have to have a mechanism for sourcing that data from the field to be exposed to the, yes. There is I want to hear it. And then the second is what we've been talking to with Brian here about, which is how do you then monetize or commercialize the solution to ensure that it's sustainable. So that's also another aspect to look at. Yeah, but how do you
Yeah, Team Alpha is a very good project. I like it. I'll echo my sentiments of the first judge saying that who is your client? It can't be the government. So because you're keeping the same government in check indirectly, right? So I'll suggest before I ask my questions, I'll suggest that you have to partner with independent bodies like the whistleblower you was mentioning, and also some of the I think bodies that some of the commissions that do that. My other worry is the drone surveillance part, because this part you have to source for license on operating, and also I don't know, the guys giving the license is still going to ask these questions. What are you guys doing on the project and all that, right? Another thing is mostly on data governance. We are going to have data security issues here, and also with the ODPP, you've seen previously we've had people sharing other details and all that. So just make sure that you get to know how access to different data. I know there's an act for access to information in Kenya. Maybe you can ride on that. But just try to make sure that you know more about on the extent that you can collect that data. Okay? Thank you.
Team Alpha, I think feedback. Thank you so much. So next team is Governance PUP. Governance PUP, yeah.
Good afternoon. We are Governance PUP. We supply governance through instant gratification as we wait for these items to be put up. So behind me is a team of 7. We have sort of allocated ourselves various tasks within this organization. Austin is standing as our CEO. I'm lead politician in the team. I do a lot of talking. She's our legal representative. Joyce handles program. That will be a major part of what we're trying to do. Humphrey is our tech guy. Sort of stand behind him in a shadow, but he's going to be our lead. Letitia does partnerships. She'll handle partnerships a lot in what we. Yeah, I think we're ready. Who? I missed not anyone. Rebecca does communications. Yeah, and she's communicating right now where she is. Okay, we'll start. Want to take you through a 1-minute video just to sort of explain some of the problems, then we'll go through a quick presentation.
Meet Maynor, a hard-working father of 2, struggling to make ends meet in a country with rising living costs. Like many Kenyans, Maynor dreams of a better future for his children, where public funds build schools, hospitals and roads to uplift his community. But those dreams are fading. Across Kenya, stories like Maynor's are common. A school promised to his community now stands in ruins. The funds meant to finish this project disappeared into corrupt pockets. Maynor has seen scandal after scandal. Procurement officials inflating school bus prices, county officials pocketing bribes, and billion-dollar projects abandoned due to missing documents. The recent finance bill has deepened the wounds. Maynor pays more in taxes, meant to build his community.
More poor lives.
Fueling corruption. He hears the anger in his fellow citizens, young people demanding accountability. Meet Maynor, a hard-working father of 2, struggling to make ends meet in a country with rising living costs. Like many Kenyans, Maynor dreams of a better future for his children, where public funds build schools, hospitals and roads to uplift his community. But those dreams are fading. Across Kenya, stories like Maynor's are common. A school promised to his community now stands in ruins. The funds meant to finish this project disappeared into corrupt pockets. Maynor has seen scandal after scandal. Procurement officials inflating school bus prices, county officials pocketing bribes, and billion-dollar projects abandoned due to missing documents. The recent finance bill has deepened. Maynor pays more in taxes, meant to build his community but fueling corruption. He hears the anger in his fellow citizens, young people demanding accountability and justice. Maynor represents the voice of the people, the silent majority who suffer in the shadows of corruption and inefficiency. The need for change is urgent. How can we bring transparency and power back to the people? What if there was a way to rebuild trust? Imagine a future where it is a reality.
Okay, it gives you an idea of problems. For those who need to get solutions, there are solutions on the video. We'll go straight to the presentation. Now, as mentioned, we are Governance PUP. The name was coined because we are providing instant solutions for governance. And the product that we are building, we've already mentioned the team, so we'll move to the product. We're calling it Civic Trust AI. So it's about people, progress, prosperity. Our major focus is people. How do we help people in Kenya? And Civic Trust AI addresses corruption, inefficiency, lack of transparency within management of public funds, and a lot of government projects. Now, we're looking at three main problems: mistrust, misallocation, and lack of participation for the public. How can we create a system that can be able to provide people more access to this information and get them more involved? Civic AI Trust enhances fiscal transparency and accountability in government spending. Next slide. We are looking at building on blockchain. We're going to be using smart contracts a lot. Artificial intelligence is sort of a core platform. We're using it for reports analysis, which is going to be a key part. And if you look at that paper diagram, we'll be able to take you through that to explain that further. Cloud infrastructure, mobile and web applications. Our first version may not have a USSD, but we'll be able to build that later. Who are targets? Citizens, NGOs, investors, developers, and we're also helping government institutions to provide information to each other. Next slide. We're looking at revenue streams in terms of licensing, charging for premium features, maybe subscriptions, providing white labels, partnerships with donors, which might be through funding, creating ads on platforms and social media, and possibly getting developers to pay for some connections. In terms of costs, we're looking at software development, cloud costs, marketing, legal fees, hiring, and maintenance and scaling. We may need to scale this solution as we go along. Now, our go-to-market strategy: create public awareness, do activations, talk to people about this problem, explain to them how we're planning to fix it, use social media, and then do pilots. One of the challenges is some data might not be accessible. Finished projects is easy to get. New and active projects might be a little more challenging, but we can create an infrastructure which people can use later to access this information. We expand to NGO partnerships, and the idea then is to scale to other countries. Where are we right now? We have a specifications document that describes this. What you're seeing in front of you is the DPI diagram. We have a checklist and a design thinking document that talks about how we built this solution, the considerations we're doing in terms of DPI, and any other things that we need to factor. A pitch deck, the video intro is in 2 minutes and 11 minutes, a lean canvas. We have a team MOU that structures our team, how we're going to work together and with any partners. And then, well, it's a prototype, it's not yet clickable. Okay, next slide. Our traction so far, we've presented in this hackathon, we have a semi-proof of concept. We'll be getting feedback today, either clubs or booths, whatever the case is. Then moving forward, well, we hope to win. That's one of the things. We're looking at developing the full prototype, creating a communication plan for social and activations, refining our team structures, extending to chatbots for public interaction, and looking at the USSD implementation. What we're asking for is for you guys to join us in building a transparent future, become a partner to what we're doing, invest in us, talk about the system, and these are some screens. We will show you the unclickable system right now. And as I can quickly just lead you here. So there are 4 key components right now. You have a central login system. You notice that we're going to be using ID numbers. We'll hook into the government system, log into that. It will be able to send you back details like OTP. And through that, then you'll come into Civic Trust, which is essentially an AI platform. The AI module is a key thing. It will provide you a dashboard where we're collecting project details, and those project details come from financial information. This financial information again connects to financial sources, the treasury, maybe an agricultural, health, different interfaces. And then we have the public interface where the public can be able to go into this and look at reports for projects. From here they can be able to interface, possibly get rewards for suggesting which road. If we have 5 roads we need to build, we can vote which road we want to build and give the reasons. So we are having more public participation and also rewarding them in the process. So the key item is that we are providing
Questions from judges?
Thank you so much, Governance PAP, for a very good presentation. I would be interested to know, number one, who are your key clients when it comes to this project? Because, of course, it's an app that tracks government projects, right? And one of the things that you have highlighted is the issue of corruption. So how are you going to ensure that the government embraces this? Number one. Number two, how will you ensure that you get the accurate data, more so when it comes to the issue of the budget allocation? You're going to work with the Ministry of Finance. How will you ensure you get the accurate information in order to be able to feed into the app? And also, how will you ensure that that information and data is secure so that it will not be mismanaged?
Okay, let me remember the question settings. Okay, first, who's our main target? It's the citizens. We want to be able to provide them this platform for free. Any citizens asking for custom data might have to pay a small charge, but they will be the major client that we're focusing on. The second level then is like donors and partners. A lot of donors are giving money to government and then trying to figure out how was this used, so we're going to use them as a second level. The third level is developers. One of the problems we've all sort of figured out, and a question you've raised, getting this data is usually hard. So if we can already begin creating relationships and the data we can get, we can be able to provide data through APIs for other developers to have. How are we going to ensure the application goes? Could you just put up Elastic? We have platforms like Elastic that we're going to connect to. We don't have to feed this data manually. Whether it's Excel files you're giving us, databases, whatever databases, whether it's Oracle, a Word document, we can automatically connect this system into it and it will push it for us into a database. That ensures that it's being done quickly and in a standard way, but it means that now we can connect to almost anything. So whether we're given documents, whether we're given access to databases, we'll be able to connect. Now, we're looking at this data in three formats. Previous projects, it's easy to get that data. It's usually publicly available. The challenge might be new and active projects. And again, this might entail some level of discussion, but that's why we've built the system as it is, so that that financial information model will hook up to that Elastic model, and then we get access to whatever sort of data we are connecting to, and then we can push it up and provide analysis for people. And in terms of how we protect the data, so that central login system, whenever it connects to Civic Trust, will know who's requesting for that data. And again, we're going to do that login in different levels. If I'm a government official, I might be able to get more access for a donor as opposed to a general public person. But we'll try and make as much of the information available, but there might be hierarchies to that data and how it will be accessed.
Thank you to Team Governance PAP. Clap for them. So the next team is Dispatch, then Citizenry, see me at the back. Dispatch AI, the next. Next team, Dispatch AI.
The Gen Zs during the recent Reject Finance bill. This is due to, this is because they could not be able to access the health cares immediately and effectively.
Hi, my name is Caleb, and we bring to you Dispatch AI, the first AI dispatch eliminating 911 calls. Good. So this is our team, and I'll just go through it. So 96% of 999 calls in 96% of centers are critically understaffed, which means if you have an emergency right now, you will either be hold. Okay. I guess I'll just start again. Okay. 96% of call centers in Kenya or Africa in general are critically understaffed, which means if you need an emergency service immediately, you will either be put on hold or you will not get the response that you need at that time. That's why we bring Dispatch AI, the first AI that will help you to dispatch a police, an ambulance, or a firefighter or a drone to your location. So we have stated the problem, and now this is the solution. So our AI will, you will receive a call. Then what happens is the AI will pick your location. We will do a demo of that. It will pick your location. Then it will either dispatch a police, a firefighter, a paramedic, like an ambulance, or a drone. So what happens is, let's say we have a fire, okay, this house is burning right now. We'll just call the AI, it will pick our location. It will try to calm you down on the call and tell you, hey, move to a place where it's secure. Then now dispatch a police, a firefighter, paramedics, or drone. So what happens to drones when you call, it sends a drone first, it sends a drone so that it gets real-time information. So which building is the one that is burning and stuff. Yes. So let me delve a bit about the solution. So what happens is we have also integrated the police on the traffic such that if there is traffic, you're able to find real-time notification such that follow the next route. This route has traffic so that you get to the next destination. Or the police will also get a notification saying there is an ambulance that is needed from point A to point B. Kindly clear the way. So our integration can be, we can integrate our system with Red Cross, Sonko Rescue Team that we already know, then the Police Service Commission, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commissions, and London CRBs. So for Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, you get that weekends, we don't have the services for the police, and yet you need you need a service during the weekend that involves the police. So just call the AI, it will get your location, and then keep it so that on Monday you are sorted, or immediately you are sorted. Yeah, sorry. So our features. So we have integrated drone technology. If you have a problem, it comes, takes the picture of your location, send real-time data to the ambulance or the firefighter. Then Google Maps, the AI will also look for routes that are easy to your place. Then we have GIS and mapping. It will give you the real-time, like the location again. So we also plan to put wearable devices for people who are blind, people who can't talk. You just press call button on your wearable device and you get help. Yes. So this is what we offer again, and that was our architecture. We use Whisper and AI and stuff. So all our articles, and you can read the blogs and our research from there. So I'll take you through, guys, a live demo. Then we can see what we have. So this is a real call. It's an international call. So we are using international because of just test. Good. I guess it works.
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press.
Okay.
Hi there. I'm Ema, your emergency partner. How can I assist you today?
Hi. We have a fire outbreak in Kilimani, 4th floor.
I understand this is a stressful situation. I'm here to help. I've notified the fire department and dispatched help to your location immediately to eyes. Everyone's safe and able to evacuate. Please stay on the line with me.
Okay, thank you. So basically that is what happened. So it dispatches an ambulance to your place or a police. So if you need a police, if you need a drone to come and look at your area, it will do so. Thank you.
Very nice presentation, and I like the demo too. So I have a couple questions. First is, do you foresee that you would have arrangements with specific, I don't know how the 999 works here in Kenya, but would it be with specific regions or specific counties or specific companies that provide those services?
Oh, we never talked about Uber. Okay, sorry. So let's say, before I answer your question, so let's say in this location you need an ambulance, but the ambulances are not available. So what the AI will do, it will automatically book for you an Uber that will take you to the next nearby hospitals. So to answer your question, we will bring in the need of, we'll bring in private hospitals that are around. So 911 works in Kenya this way. When you call, the major call centers are here in Nairobi. So when you call even in the bush areas, okay, our villages, what they do is when you call, let's say the next call center is at Nairobi, let's say. So they'll have to route that call to, again, where that is. And that wait time is a lot. I guess I've answered your question.
Okay, and the other question is, how do you deal with people who are just fraudulently calling, making a joke?
So our AI, we got a model that is already trained with fake calls, all the fake calls and all the live calls. So our AI is able to detect which call is fake or real.
And hopefully that's right. Okay.
I have one question. How will you ensure that the security, theft and loss, because some people might be tempted to take the drones and keep them in their houses. So how will you ensure that? Oh, and another thing, how do you ensure inclusivity in those in the rural areas? Because you mentioned when it comes to, there will be some wearable watches. Yeah. So how do you ensure that that person in the rural area, that person who is also not digitally enabled, can also be able to access the services?
For the rural areas, so we are incorporating the police USDs 999. So people in the rural areas can access this as long as you have a phone. It's not supposed to be a digital phone or, yeah. So everyone in the rural areas can access the code. Also, the first question, theft and losses. So, for the drones, they do an aerial surveillance. So if the drones are kept in the skies, no one can steal them from there. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. So talking about rural, we also have a feature for language. So when you call in Kiswahili, it will not respond to you in Kiswahili. It will respond to you, your language. And again, security, drones are, on the air, so you can't really take them. I guess that is, unless you use a net.
Mine is not a question, it's just an add-on. Don't limit yourself to police. This actually can work in any customer care service, banks and all that. Yeah.
Any other insight? Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting solution, and I think it's easy to get data. So in your model, I think you should work out something around Nyumba Kumi and community policing, because the first respondent is the next guy. So if you're able to plug that into that solution, then it immediately gets wide-scale adoption, and obviously then it can hit the scale. So if I'm a kiosk owner and I'm just robbed, AI won't help. But if I can alert my next neighbor that my M-Pesa has just been stopped and that word can go around within a geo-fence or a geolocation, then it can support that particular effort. So I think move forward.
Okay. Great. Give it up to...
Yeah, just a comment. First of all, I like it. It's an audacious goal. My only comment is find the minimum viable product that you can take to the market. It's a lot. You're doing drones, you're doing smartwatches and all that, but what is the quickest way that you can get to the market, and then you validate that it's working, and look at how are you getting the financial feasibility of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Give it up to Dispatch AI. The next one is Cyber Gov. Cyber? Yeah. Welcome.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Bagov. We had an idea around um, we had an idea around communication and how to bridge the communication gap between the government and the normal citizens. Specifically, our product aims to bridge this gap in the health system. I hope we are all affected by the coronavirus, for instance. And in that specific case, we didn't really get effective communication, like effective rapid communication, until a press conference was called. Now, what if the government had a way that it could reach everybody in the country without having to organize for a press conference? What if the government had a way to notify specific people of a region of a matter that is affecting only them without having to announce this over the media? That is where our solution comes in. We want to build a system whereby the government can send information to specific people in the country, which are like to a problem that's affecting a specific group of people in the whole, with the solution in the message, rather than having to send this message out through the media so that everybody gets it, but it's irrelevant to most of these people. Already the government has such solutions. There are such solutions in private entities, like we have Red Cross has the SMS platform that sends people information. But ours is different because we have an AI that is curated to get the data that is on this specific topic, right? So we will train our AI on specific data by the government, so that the AI will be learning from documents that is fed into it by the government, so that if I go to my chatbot and I ask about an issue that is affecting me, I will get data that is relevant to that specific issue as the government wants me to get it, right? So if I go to ChatGPT right now and I ask it about cholera, for instance, I don't know if the data that it's giving me is because it's from a data center in Ukraine, for instance. It is not really relevant to me. But we want a situation whereby the government can curate its responses to medical emergencies and issues. Other than that, our technology implementation will majorly rely on APIs, so that makes it very affordable and very easy to implement, right? So now that we have an AI system that can learn from user input, and it can know what is it that a user really wants, what is it that a user wants to ask. Like, it will not be giving general data from all the data sources around. It will be giving responses according to that person's location. So we'll be having like a GIS form of technology integrated into the system, so that if a request is made to, let's say I want to see the effects of cholera, it will give me the effects of cholera as to where I am, right? So if there's an outbreak of a disease, the government can send information to that specific area, right? So I don't have to send information about cholera outbreak that happened in Nyamira. I don't have to send it to people in Mombasa, to people in Makueni and everybody. I can send it to a specific group of people, and that is going to be possible through our AI model that will be able to learn people's location, people's search patterns and everything, right? So our target market is the government, mostly the ministries. Well, this solution can be implemented through other government ministries, not necessarily the Ministry of Health. It can be implemented by other ministries that want to communicate to a given section of their people, right? They can send information, they can have chatbots trained by their data, so that everybody can access curated data as per what they want. Other people that can access this data is parastatals, private organizations that want a more curated communication channel, and then it will also, just provide a more in-depth information on a topic Yeah, so I think other than that, we'll have a demo of how application works from Nyakio. Thank you.
Hi everyone, perhaps one thing that you forgot to mention, we are a team of all of us, me included. I work on chatbot development as well as business. So when you're looking at the demo, please present the demo. So this is what our demo will basically look like. This is just a prototype of the whole thing. We'll have a chatbot, which is basically something that you're having interaction with. But now we've specifically worked with healthcare. That is what we're going to deal with in this specific project. And then with scalability, we can also be able to integrate in other ministries like, let's say, EACC, and maybe policies around, maybe let's say example, I don't know what is happening in this industry, and I need to understand if in case there's corruption, how am I supposed to report other documentations, what legal aspects am I supposed to go and follow, and then it gives me like a summary rather than it having to go step by step, go like a whole documentation. It just gives me a curated thing, as you were saying, that is able to, for me personally, individual aspect of it. And then we'll have like, let's say example here, when you're talking about the hospital, this specific person was asking about around them, what is the nearest hospital. The map here, we didn't actually get data that can be able to accommodate Kenya. That is another problem around it. We can also work with parastatals that already have the systems for us to be able to again be wider in this problem, and then it can be able to track this specific place with geospatial. And then that is it about the demo. Scalability, again, we're looking at partnering with other private entities like Safaricom. When you're applying for that line, or maybe when you're going into Google and you click agree and continue, you really don't know what is going on there. That is where they normally take your data. So it will just give you a summary of these documentations for you to be able to work with it. What is our ask? So our ask is funds that will be able to pilot this thing, and then we're also looking at partnering with other already running institutions for them to provide data, because that is also a key point in what we have as a problem. And then mentorship, again, we also need people who can come into it and work with us. And then, yeah, I think that is it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Clap for them.
Did you say is cyber gov?
Yes.
Good. Just a quick one. Red Cross and Safaricom. They're the only two organizations that literally reaches everyone in Kenya directly through a government directive. If you remember during Corona and also during the floods. So right now, the government works closely with Red Cross. So there's a certain region that they will actually issue that communication if there is, let's say, maybe an emergency or something like that. So am I digressing?
No.
Again, the data points, it's going to be a bit difficult because you guys are you're using APIs to integrate. So again, it depends. I want to know which other systems are you guys integrating with, and because mostly emergency issues in this country is always government directed. So I'm looking forward for you guys to maybe enlighten me on how you can participate this or collaborate this with the government. Thank you.
So when you're talking about APIs, that comes with security. We don't want it to have security issues. What we're going to do, we'll train it according to the specific domain. If it's health, if it's another EACC, do they need people to understand what is going on there? Do we need updates of this thing? What specifically group are you looking at? APIs can work, but again, we also need to look at the security bit of it. So we won't really work on it being APIs, but rather with a direct person, involved personnel. Yeah.
Just to answer, apart on, you asked about how we are going to reach the people, yet the government already has Red Cross, right? Our main point was Red Cross will notify us if there is a large, or let's say if there is something affecting a large population. We are looking at it in the form that if you only have something affecting Mathare alone, right? We don't have this thing affecting the whole country. Well, Red Cross might not really get into that, but the government can just send an SMS push so that everybody can get this data, including that person who doesn't have a smartphone. That person who has a small phone, can get this data. Not like we want to bridge that gap so that everybody gets information from the government, despite whether you have a smartphone or a normal small phone. And this data is going to be generated by AI so that it collects everything that is in government files, every necessary information, and condense it in an easily understandable way and push it to the people who need to know of this happening.
Thank you. One last question. Yeah, my question is why use an app? Why not the same way you're getting data from APIs? Yeah. Why don't you provide APIs that can send this through then whatever channel?
Yeah, so we used an app for two reasons. One, the app, once you download the app, it will always be within the phone, right? So once you have that app, you can get information that are sent from the government anytime, anywhere. And then you might ask, what if somebody can't install that app? What if somebody has a Katululu, This person will still be able to get all this information through as simple as an SMS push. We have all those API endpoints that will allow us to integrate SMSs and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think my question is, why not provide APIs so that I can integrate directly into Bolt, I can integrate directly into WhatsApp, so then you just have that orchestration layer, so that people don't need to download your app. Whatever app they're using, they can connect to you and be able to then access that information, which then allows scalability across. Because if I'm an organization, KCB Bank, I've got 7,000 employees, I don't need to tell them, everybody download that app. I can just integrate that API into my system. So if the guy's in Nyamira, so it's the technical question is, why the app only? Because of that's where it's at, or can you be able to do the orchestration layer and push via API?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. Thank you. So the reason why we went for the app is that the app will be doing more than just the chat. If we integrate it in WhatsApp, WhatsApp will only be used for chatting, interacting with the AI, only that. But when we get it to the application, if we build an application around it, we'll be able to get real-time notifications. We'll be able to get nearest healthcare facilities, if any. We'll be able to integrate so that we can get doctors around. In terms of an emergency, somebody knows where to go to and how to get there.
Thank you. That is actually very good feedback, so just find how to work with him here. So we have two last presentations. So the next one is Citizen Lens. Then the last one will be Somo Labs. Yeah. Citizen, then Somo Lab. Oh, then. Okay, two more.
Hello. Hello. So I have a little story. I have a big brother. He's 23 years old, and he moved out of our home 7 years ago. Where did he move to? He moved to an apartment 17 kilometers away from our home. But you know what? Every time he wants a haircut, he comes back home. Yeah? There is not one barber shop around him that he can trust. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on trust that business can happen. Imagine all of the Juakali industries, all of the mamambogas, all of the small kiosks that do not pay tax, that evade tax. Why? Because they do not trust that the government can deliver. Trust. I bring to you Citizen Lens.
Thank you so much. All right, so this is Citizen Lens. You might ask, what is it for? It is for bringing transparency at your fingertips. So why? Why do we need transparency at our fingertips? This is because CDF funds are meant to offer community uplift. However, many projects are failing to deliver, leaving citizens underserved. You might ask, why are we focusing on CDF projects? Because these are at the grassroots levels. When development occurs at a constituency level, then we are going to develop as a country and as a community, more so even as Africa in general. So what is our solution for this very big problem? An intelligent data access platform. What is it going to be doing? It's going to be consolidating data, providing insights for citizens, and ensuring that every citizen can keep their MP accountable. By doing this, we are making information accessible, understandable, and empowering communities to hold their leaders accountable. What are we doing? We are simplifying the complex. And we are putting the power of information at your fingertips, as we had just begun by saying. What is this we are doing that is informing that? We are providing quick and easy access to relevant data. We are consolidating information from all this labyrinth of sources that are available in the web and putting them into one place. How is this going to work? Our system is going to perform data ingestion, integrating data from so many various government sources that are credible and are existing, and processing the data using AI that is going to cleanse all these data structures and offer optimal analysis. Also, this is a platform for users to now access the specific information they want through their intuitive searches based on really what they want to know about specific issues on CDF projects. What is our market strategy? It leads to unleash the power of information by bringing transparency and accountability. How so, you might ask? By ensuring essential information for citizens to make informed decisions, data-driven insights for researchers and business investors as well, and it's going to be an efficient gain for government officials and auditors as well. So what is our ask? Our ask is for you guys to join us and build a transparent future together. That is our ask. And we will slide into the demo. So before you is the demo of our project. We have already preferred it.
Okay, so for the demo, we actually sourced data from Mathare. We were trying to find how government has tried to be kind of transparent in terms of their expenditures in CDF. Probably by now, if you click star 989, you'd have like a the USSD takes you to a place where you'll see what they are calling the transparency now. You'd see probably if you have your phone, you could try to do that right now. Then you'll select like your constituency, then see what the government as of now is showing, star 989 hash. So we have collected some data, we found some data from the internet, and we brought the data together and like fed it to RAG. RAG means retrieval augmented generation. This is an application that leverages the power of AI, LLMs, to try and we leverage the power of LLMs in use of our data. So probably if you have a question concerning how CDF was used in Mathare, one of you could tell us and we could prompt our application. Yes. How?
Yeah, my question is around the school feeding programs in Mathare.
So how is school feeding program in Mathare?
School feeding in CDF allocation. Yes, bursaries.
How many bursaries have been disbursed this year?
Right, so if you have ever gone to the Office of the Auditor General's website, if you look at that report, it's English, but it's completely unreadable. You go through it, you can't get through the first paragraph. This is a much more consumable way to understand the allocation and the disbursement of these funds for now the bursaries in Mathare constituency.
And probably if you're a Kenyan citizen, you actually know how data is. There are links to the data, but if you try to get the data from the links the government is providing, it's actually vague. So if possibly you're there and you could be having a way on how to help us get data, we'll actually be very happy.
That is it from us. Yes.
Somo.
No question? No questions?
More questions? No questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Somo. The last team would be.
Hi everyone, my name is Roy. I'm the founder of Upeo Labs, and we created Somo. So let me introduce Steve here.
My name is Steven. I am a software engineer. mostly doing back-end development.
So we have developed a solution for digitization of government of national curriculum, and I would like Steve to introduce what we are working on right now.
We are working on an AI that will help students in case anything happens. If he drops out, he can still get education whatever he wants through bundles or through SSD code, which our AI is now currently to bring what is written to KSD. Because we use KSD books in our school, it brings most of the content right. Like for example, when I'm doing physics in high school, and I want to revise with ChatGPT, it will give me more like data explanation, which I'm not supposed to know. But our AI somehow will bring what is written to KSD, and it will be student-friendly language. Like my friend can try. Can you try something?
Let's go back. So SOMO is a generative AI solution for digitization. We have been able to use retrieval augmented generation and other technologies to allow students in K-12, which is high school, to be able to talk to their notes the same way you would ask a teacher a question. And teachers can as well use this technology. So basically, if you've used ChatGPT, you already know what SOMO is about. That's it. So for our market, we have 8 million students. Sorry for my condition. I just have to apologize for that so that you don't get distracted here. I have a condition called HH, which is hyperhidrosis. And I hope I'll bring some awareness to that. So when I get nervous, this happens, right? So let's get back to it. SOMO is targeting students in Kenya the same way you could be in campus and you're using ChatGPT or any other software to generate answers for your assignments or for your research. SOMO is able to do that for biology, chemistry, and all the rest. This, I would like to just keep it as short as possible for obvious reasons, but then if you have any questions, you could simply shoot away.
Yeah. Thank you, Claire, for that.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd maybe mention something about the business model. Now that you have it, how are you getting it to the market? What's the business model like?
Great. So the way we have set it up, when you access the site, you have a token balance. As you can see, we have token balances for every student. So if you're able to access the site, you need to pay some amount in order for you to continue asking the questions to the LLM, because it's continuing to cost money for inference. So what we came up with is a way to recharge your tokens through M-Pesa, TK, and you can also sponsor a school if Kamoko loaded, if you're able to.
So is the customer the student or the school?
The customer is the student and the teacher who's ultimately using it, but the school can procure for staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other?
For me, I love the solution. I participate in homeschooling forums, and the number one problem is curriculum or recording of what the student is learning, because there's recently a case in the court that some homeschoolers are not keeping records.
Right.
So how does this help me be able to adduce that?
Our homeschoolers keeping records?
Yeah, or even the student keeping records, so that when he's applying to participate as a private candidate, or now because of continuous assessment, can he produce the documentation? Or when he's applying to Stanford or MIT and he's not been formally trained in school, they'll ask for project reports or documentation reports. How does your system help overcome that challenge?
It may and may not, because what we hold is conversations, and we've developed a logging system where you have chat logs, you log in, click physics, you find your previous conversations with, on various topics, right? So that's why you always have your chat history to perpetuity. But
in regards to, I don't know if I've answered it. You said something I want to steer the answer a bit. So does it allow me to do projects? And not quite, not a research project. Based on my questions, can you then provide that as? No, not yet, not yet. The GPT, it can be able to do all help, can be able to do the projects, and every full details that you want to pursue as a student or a learner. Yeah, thanks for that jumping in. So we could use other technology, generative AI technologies such as ChatGPT, Gemini's to handle other complex project-based assignments. But for the context of high school, as you may be aware, students really just go straight to answering questions and trying to get answers for whatever they need. They don't really care about most of the longer projects. So yeah, that's fun. This is Somo. You can hop onto your enemy and check it out. It's somo.chat. Then start testing it. In addition, just to mention, we have mental health, and Kenyan constitution, which can also be, we are thinking of it as a way to introduce our students to other essential information that they are not necessarily trained up on in class. So yeah, you could as well try to ask questions on it and get the introductions thereof. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you so much to Team Somo. Clap for them. I'm literally thank you. So the last team for the day, GP Access. Last team for the day, GP Access. GP Access. Last team for the day, GP Access.
So we had Citizen Lens, then Somo Lab, then GP Access was the last team.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening once more. My name is Shannon. This is Jordan. This is Marvin, and this is Winston and Jerry. And together we are Team 27CA, and our project is GP Access, as you can see, which means Government Public Access. And our slogan is Access, Compare, Disburse, and Deliver Results. So basically, GP Access is a AI-powered comprehensive financial management tool that tracks the end-to-end budgetary lifecycle process from budget needs analysis to budget analysis, budget allocation, as well as disbursements and revenue collection optimization. So over to Marvin to take us through.
Good evening once again. So our project is informed by a problem around accountability in government, budgetary allocation, and expenditures. So we try to come up with solutions around this. And this is informed by misinformation in trying to come up with various impactful bills and policies out there. This also is informed by misappropriation of public funds due to lack of transparency and communication and public participation. This is evident from recent occurrences in the country of the Finance Bill 2024-2025, whereby there was a wide public uproar that spread across the nation and by extension across the borders, in countries like Uganda and far lands such as Bangladesh. In Kenya, it resulted to the slogan, "Reject the Finance Bill." This has highlighted the public uproar that resulted to the citizen pouring out to the streets to voice their grievances. This resulted to loss of precious lives, loss of property, loss of valuable work hours. You imagine a country or country's economy slowing down or taking a break for at least 2 days for demonstration purposes so that the citizenry can voice their concerns about what they feel ought to have been captured in the finance bill or when formulating some of these policies, but was not there in the first place. So to provide a solution to this, we are using technologies such as AI, chatbots, blockchain to enhance public participation, fund disbursements, predictive analysis around budget allocations for various projects and sectors, regions, and departments. This is just in a bid to enhance public participation, fraud detection, and data-driven decision-making in the budget making and allocations.
Okay, so next we are going to discuss about the technologies and implementation used. So one, it's a web app application using different technologies, the man stack. Then the other thing is the proposed AI models, Python AI models. So this will be used for different roles such as budget analysis, predictive analysis as well, fraud detection as mentioned earlier. Then next we have the blockchain. So as we mentioned, the solution also has a public ledger where citizens can be able to do audit tracking as well as get notifications and alerts in case of any fraud detection in the system. Then the other thing is in terms of a chatbot. So because it's also a customer-facing solution, we'll be able to enable chatbots where different citizens can be able to interact with the system and probably ask and inquire different questions about the budget, maybe how much was allocated for, if it's education or a particular relief scheme, and so on and so forth. Then the next thing is USSD. So seeing that inclusivity is a major part of our design process, this applies to people in the rural areas who don't have smartphones, so they can be able to use USSD options to query different budget allocations and just be able to track how much is allocated for what. Then the next thing is obviously the APIs and the payment gateways. As we mentioned earlier, it also has a disbursement module whereby funds that are allocated by government for different activities will be able to be disbursed directly. So this enables us, we'll need a payment gateway which will form part of the DPI.
So our target audience is the Kenyan government, specifically the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Development, which involves the Treasury also, and developing partners and donors and the general public. Some of the impacts that are going to be involved here is the economic growth. Here we are going to enhance on service delivery, and the next point we are going to focus on improvement on public services delivery. Another point is on knowledge sharing in different departments where information is exchanged effectively. And next point we're going to focus on is alignment concerning the global trends, where we are going to, with the data, we are going to, with the data from the IMF, the World Bank, and NGOs, and the next point is on community
Okay, here's a business model and cost structure. So first we have the revenue streams, which will be contracts, subscription plans, consulting services, which will include public participation framework implementation, partnerships and grants, which are collaborations. The cost structure will have inclusive hiring. There's a study by Harvard Business Review which says that diverse hiring boosts innovation and revenues by 19%. Secondly, we'll have open source components, encouraging community contributions, and lastly, community outreach. On anticipated expenses, we'll have data security, localization and accessibility, adaptable platforms for various regions, which will be different languages and accessibility for inclusivity. And lastly, our projection is to maintain financial health and focus on social impact and inclusivity.
There is a link on the slide. Yeah.
So we have two types of users. Like we can call them like the primary users of our system. We have the government. So the government can be either county government, national government, or any other department within the government. And then we have the citizen part. So the citizen part is basically to be able to access this information in terms of budget allocation, see how the different policies, if they are changed, how they affect the budget. So, so we wait for the, yeah, there. So if you go to the government view, and then, so under the government view, we have a budget allocation tool. We have, under the budget allocation tool, we have different scenarios whereby if you learn them, you will be able to see, like, if it's in the health sector budget, if you increase maybe in like 5 or 7%, you see how the funding will look like. There is population-based analysis, where you analyze in terms of regions and in terms of group, that is whether it's children, you can be able to analyze the impact of the budget in the various sectors, populations. Then we have AI-based, AI-driven recommendation, whereby the AI recommends you to increase budget maybe in education sector. Can go back. To tax optimization tool. So under the tax optimization tool, you will be able to like have comparison data in different sectors, whether it's in manufacturing, services, import and exports, scroll down. And then you have detections. If you are having detections, like if you're having a tax evasion in maybe manufacturing sector, you'll be able to be alerted that there is a detection that is happening. Then you can be able to like simulate policy impact, like corporate tax, import and export duties. If you increase it maybe in like 15%, 10%, you will be able to like get the impact of that policy that has been implemented. We can go back to AI detection, funds disbursement. So under funds disbursement, we have like the government can be able to view the budget that has been allocated on various funds, whether it's in the health sector, education, infrastructure, and then they are able to see transactions that have been flagged as fraud and the legit transactions. So that is the government view. Still under the government view, we have settings and account. Yeah. So under settings and account, we have different models that we're going to be using for AI. So we have predictive models for revenue. We have tax and compliance evasion model. We have budget optimization model, debt management model, and public sentiment analysis. So this is where the public outcry, where people are making comments, whether it's on social media or different platforms, we are able to gather all those comments and analyze the state and the situation of the public. Yeah. So you can go to the public view, just back to the main page. The main page. Not that's still on the government. You can just go back to the URL, the URL itself. So under the citizen view, we have a digital wallet, transparency and monitoring. So under transparency and monitoring, so under transparency and monitoring tool, the citizen are able to see the budget allocation and the impact score of each and every sector. Scroll down. They can also be able to run simulation, also themselves, they can be able to run simulation, and through those simulations that they have been able to do, they can submit feedback to the other side of the government. So you can, like, whether it's in education, whether it's in infrastructure and such, they can be able to give feedback. Scroll up. Then we have community. So under community, people can be able to start conversations. They can be able to also take call. They can be able to participate in opinion polls. Yeah.
Thank you. A clap for GP Access. Question from judges.
GP Access was a good presentation. I have one question. In government, fraud does not happen from point of knowledge, does not happen during allocation. It happens during expenditure. In your presentation, you mentioned somewhere in the beginning that it was an end-to-end, but you never captured anywhere money because that's where fraud happened, in expenditure, not in allocation. It happens, but in expenditure, that's where fraud happened. Yeah, that's my question. How is the system touching on the expenditure part?
So on the expenditure part, we have the public ledger. I wish we were able to see it. We have the public ledger. So the public ledger is able to, like, if you're applying for, let's say, for fund disbursement, like in health, the citizen is able to look whether they are eligible for such. If they are not eligible, and if they try again to like apply for the same funds, the system will be able to like say that this person is being able. I don't know if that's, yeah.
No.
Maybe just to answer you, so in terms of expenditure, so when budgets are being developed, let's say by different government ministries or agencies, so let's say give an example of, let's say refreshments, for example. So our AI model currently would use current like market prices. So if, for example, you say you have a budget of 5 million on refreshments, and a breakdown of what that actually is. So our AI model would actually calculate the price of, that's actually part of fraud detection as well, of what refreshments of, let's say for a whole year for, let's say the Ministry of Housing, for example, how much that would be and compare with what the budget has been given. So in terms of expenditure, so using current market rates and what has been presented, yeah. Yes.
Okay. And my next question would be, maybe you study the model of budgeting in government, because government have different models of budgeting. There's a one line, there's a itemized, and those now monitoring them becomes different. It's different. So that's where maybe in the system you need to check how to implement different mode of budgeting in government. Thank you.
I had one clarification. So it seemed like when you set up the problem statement, it was lack of visibility into how public funds are utilized. But unless I misunderstood, it seems like your solution is predicated on getting visibility in how public funds are utilized. So how do you get access to this data that you're showing us?
Thank you for the question. Essentially, it's in addition to how the public resources or budget or finances are being used, to begin with, it is about formulation of these policies, or rather the misinformation in the formation of these policies. Based on our case studies in the recent instance, Finance Bill 2024-2025, there are some unimaginable ideas or proposal within the finance bill. For instance, taxation on menstrual or rather reproductive health products like sanitary napkins, for instance. There was also introduction of some other punitive taxes, car tax, that never went well with the public. And from that, it pointed out there was lack of public participation in formation of some of these policies in the first place. Hence, the rejection at the point of probably the government trying to implement or turn some of these proposals into bills.
Sorry, just one more thing. I think in terms of the data sources or where we are going to get the information from, which was also part of your question, if I understood well. Like for the Treasury, most of the reports are in public domain. So it would also involve us to get partnerships with like the Ministry, the Treasury, CBK, and also access some of this information or reports from their portal as well. Then because of the ledger as well, it's also we are able to do the tracking and the auditing of the public utilization of funds. Yeah.
Maybe to add also on data sources, we have international data reports from NGOs and also IMF, which can come through for the data so that you can be able to analyze it.
Thank you. Clap for Team GP Access. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a good day, and what an amazing time and dedication you have provided and given to this. So it's time for the judges they'll take their time to do the tabulations. So there's a room here. So the judges can just walk into that room and take your time to discuss and find us a winner. And the winner gets a contract with GIZ to support the gas stack project. and you will be engaged with JZ to see how your solution can actually fit into their work. So you get a contract with them and see how you can work with them, and also get to learn what they do, and also just improve on DPIs as you do this. Thank you so much. We want to allow our judges to go, so maybe you can just walk using this door. Yes. Great. So we have a cocktail ready downstairs. So everyone will walk down, but before you go, use the door. There's some gift bag for you. Pick one as you go to the 10th floor. Then I think people will be well prepared for you. Then at where we are going, that's where they will announce the winner and also get some either feedback from GIZ how you did this the last 2 days. Do you have any questions to clarify? Then remember also tomorrow there's another hackathon by Haki happening in Kilimani. So if you want to attend, show up at the atrium or where? Where is the venue? Yes. Yes, and then the 2 people who won the present yesterday, please see me here. Yeah. Thank you so much, and it's been real. I really appreciate. See you downstairs as we announce the winner. Don't go home. We are announcing the winner downstairs. Please walk using that door and get your gift back. Then the mentors, please remain behind. We have interviews for you. So, and so starting with Moses, yeah.